Hello and welcome to video series presented by Integration Bytes. In this video we will see Anypoint Platform single sign-on using SAML 2.0 with Azure Active Directory. And before we move on, let me introduce you myself. I am Mohammad Akib, working as a MuleSoft certified developer and integration architect. Today's agenda is overview of single sign-on and SAML 2.0. Then we will see configuration of single sign-on using SAML 2.0 for Anypoint Platform with Azure Active Directory, and then we will see the demo how this is working. So let's first understand what is SSO and SAML 2.0. So the very basic, uh, very basically, if you try to understand, the single sign-on is an authentication process that allows users to access multiple applications and services with a single set of login credentials. Let's suppose you have so many applications and you don't want to remember the passwords, or you are at risk of leaking the passwords, and but you want a single platform to log into all of your applications. So that a particular thing is called single sign on, and that we try to get that using identity providers such as Azure Active Directory. And then we have SAML 2.0, which is security assertion markup language. It is an XML based protocol used for secure authentication and authorization between identity providers and service providers in single sign on systems. So let's move on and see how this all configuration and demo works. So very first thing we need to do is we need to have Azure portal account. If you already have, that's well and good. Otherwise, we can create free tier account from azure.microsoft.com. Since I already have that account, I will straight away go to this home page, and then we will see Azure Active Directory icon over here. This service we will click. Okay, so I will now go to this enterprise application option on the left side. Now I already have this application available, but let's create a new application. Since you will not find any point platform over here, so what we will do, we will just create our own application. We can click create your own application, right? And give it a name. I can give it name like Anypoint Platform IDP, like identity provider. Okay, and then we can select this option like integrate any other application you don't find in the gallery. Since we don't find this in the gallery, we can create our own custom application and then click create. Now once this application is created, we will have different options to explore, right? So meanwhile we can go to this identity provider in any point platform. You can always come to this access management page, and this identity providers link you need to click, and then select SAML 2.0. Since we have two options, like we can connect via OpenID Connect, or we can select SAML 2.0. So since in this video we are going to select, or we are going to work with SAML 2.0, so let's just click this. Now here we need to upload the metadata file which we will get from here, right? So this application is created for us. Now what we need to do is we need to click the single sign-on option over here. Okay, and we need to select this option Like this is the method. Since we are working on SAML method, we can click over here. So here we see different options, or just like this, like we are seeing this status is active SAML certificate, and even we can upload the metadata from mulesoft. Over here we will see how we will do that, but very first thing we need to do is we need to have this basic XAML configuration. So we can edit this property, and these two fields, these two identifiers are provided, needed. Like one of them is identifier entity ID and one of them is reply URL. So here we need to provide the organization name, like uh, integration bytes. For me it's integration bytes, and then anypoint dot mulesoft dot com, right? So here you can provide your own organization name. Okay, and then we need to provide this over here. Okay, but here we will as we can edit this later on as well, we will provide here the log id from which it will be logged in. So let's just keep it as it is, and then will see how we can get that. So you can just click save. Once this is saved, we can have these options enabled, like certificates and federation meta xml. So we need to get this federation metadata xml and upload it to SAML settings in MuleSoft. Over here we need to import, right? So we can just click over here and select this. Now here as well we need to provide the name, just like we can give the name as your SAML identity management provider, and then we have these informations auto generated. Okay, and in audience we need to provide the same, the domain name, or you can say your organization name. Then this is anypoint.mulesoft.com. So for me it is integration bytes. You can give your own. Then we can select identity provider only or both or service provider. So we want it to be logged in either from MuleSoft or from Azure AD, from both places, right? And then in these fields we can give these details for user, like for username we can have this, and first name we can give this, and last name, email address, and then for groups we can select as group, right? So we are good to go. We can save changes, and now let's click this SML setting again and download this metadata, and we will import this in our application in Azure AD over here. So let's just select the file, this one, 8. Now if you see we have this option, this id available from our metadata file from Anypoint platform. Let's just click save. All right, since this is saved now, let's assign user. Since currently there is no user assigned, we can select the user, which user can log in. Either we can create the new users or we can assign the existing user. So we can select the user, user. Okay, select, and then select the role, assign this user. Okay, and yep, that's it. Now we need to assign the role, but now first thing we can do is that we can test if our single sign-on works from Azure AD to mulesoft. So let's go back to our application, and over here we have the option to test if the application is working. So we can click over here, test this application, and then from here we can click test sign in. So it seems like it has logged in to Anypoint platform, and this is the user, right? We can see integration by underscore gmail.com. This is the same user, uh, which can be seen from here, right? The user information, that the user we just assigned. So yeah, you see this, right? Now let's see if this user exists. Yes. So if you notice that that user does not have access to access management, only API manager, runtime manager, these features are visible. But even if we click over here, let's see if the access is there or not. Yeah, it does not have access. So what we can do, we can log in from parent account from MuleSoft, and then we can see if this user exists in our users tab in access management. Right click sign in. Okay, and then now this is the different user. If you notice, this is the parent user. Okay, and access management. In access management we would see this user currently available, and let's see if it has permissions. Oh yeah, this user does not have much permissions, so we can give all of these permissions to this user. Next. Yeah, next, select all, next, add permissions. So now all permissions do exist. We can just sign out from here, and let's test it again from here. Enterprise application, this application, and then single sign-on. Then we need to test if that user has all those access now. Yeah. Now let's see. Yeah, this user has the access for almost everything now, since we just provided the access. Now let's test this. We have tested from Azure. If we now select the, if we now do like my apps dot microsoft.com, so we should see this application. Yeah, we see this application, right? Anypoint Platform IDP, and when we click over here, it will be logging us to Anypoint Platform. Now, if we log out from here and we test it from different way, like uh, anypointplatform.mulesoft.com, and then use custom domain since organization domain is integration bytes as we discussed earlier. Click continue and continue with Azure SAML identity management provider. Yes, there you go. We are logged into Anypoint platform. This brings the end of video session. If you liked the video, please hit bell icon and subscribe to the channel so that you don't miss out such exciting videos in future. Stay tuned.